Once upon a time, there was a young man who worked at a factory. He was fortunate to have a mentor, an experienced and wise old technician, who taught him valuable lessons: talk less, do more, and never stop developing your skills in every aspect of the factory's operations. Over the years, the young man followed his mentor's advice diligently. 10 years later, the old man retired, and the young man took over as a technician. He continued his work with the same dedication and diligence that had been instilled in him. One day, the young man visited his retired mentor, looking troubled. Sensing his unease, the old man asked, "What's on your mind?" The young man sighed deeply and poured out his frustrations. "I've followed your advice all these years. I work quietly, focus on my job, and have mastered every skill in the factory. Yet, despite my efforts, others with less experience and capability have been promoted while I remain stuck at the same level, earning no more than I did when I was your apprentice." The old man asked thoughtfully, "Are you certain that you've become indispensable to the factory?" The young man nodded confidently. "Yes, I handle everything, and I know my work is vital." The old man paced for a moment, then said, "Here's what you must do. Take a day off. Use any reason you like, but give yourself a break." Surprised by this unusual advice, the young man hesitated. However, as he thought more about it, the idea made sense. He thanked his mentor and promptly requested a day off. When he returned to work after his brief absence, the manager called him into the office. "Things didn't go well while you were gone," the manager admitted. "Problems arose that only you could handle, and no one else knew what to do. We've realized how valuable you are to the factory. To recognize your contributions, we're promoting you to senior technician." Grateful for his mentor's wisdom, the young man thought to himself, "This must be the secret to success." From then on, whenever he felt undervalued or overlooked, he would take a day off. Each time, he returned to find his importance reaffirmed, and the situation improved to his satisfaction. However, after months of following this pattern, the young man arrived at the factory one day only to find himself locked out. He soon discovered that his employment had been terminated. Shocked and confused, he sought out his mentor to understand where he had gone wrong. "Why did I lose my job?" he asked, his voice heavy with wounded pride. "I followed your advice exactly." The old man sighed and shook his head. "No, you didn't. You heard only half the lesson." "Half the lesson?" the young man asked, puzzled. The old man continued, "You were eager to apply the first part of what I taught you, that no one notices a light bulb that's always on. It's only when it goes off that people realize its importance. But you left before hearing the second half." The young man's face fell as the weight of his mistake dawned on him. "What's the second half?" The mentor spoke slowly, emphasizing his words. "The second half, more important than the first, is this: if a light bulb goes off too often, sooner or later it will be replaced with one that's more reliable. Who wants a light bulb that can't be trusted to provide illumination?" The young man was silent, reflecting on the lesson. The old man continued, "In life, the same principle applies. Look around. Do you have friends and family you take for granted because they're always there for you? What happens if one day they're no longer there? Don't wait for such a day to realize their importance. Give thanks today for the good fortune of having them in your life." Similarly, while you shouldn't allow yourself to be taken for granted, you must also remain dependable. Success lies in balance, between showing your worth and being consistent. Find this balance, and life will reward you with harmony and fulfillment. The young man nodded, a new understanding settling over him. From that day forward, he resolved to approach his life and work with gratitude, consistency, and balance. Thanks for being part of the community. If you've made it to the end of this video, you're lucky because you might be the next one I mention in the next video. If you'd like a shout out, just drop a comment with your location, and I'll include you. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more content.